fine, the prize, fine, the title, bragging rights, fine. The biggest thing is for a lot of teams that are here, you're only getting 2 teams from each region who are going to be Season 8 finalists. All Season 8 finalists will earn an invite spot. Then after that, your only opportunity is online qualifiers. And unless you're in Latin America, you've only got 1 per region. Latin America has 2, but every other region has 1 spot for an online qualifier team. For a team like Mocket, like you said, who are not currently pacing to be a top 2 team in EU to make it to finals, I mean, this is their shot unless they want to go through the online bracket. And the way they've been playing, by all means, I mean, they could tear up the rest of the back half of the season in EU Pro League and make it to a top 2 seed, or even then refine their game to be ready for that online qualifier.
Well, there it is. Hungry not going to be playing Ying or Clash on
I was
Consulate.
going to say, he was a nuisance. I was going to talk about bans before we went to the break, but never got around to it. And I like the bans that are coming out so far. Ying, just Hungry being a nuisance, man. That's the kind of player he is. He's just a pest to play against.
He's just like, please, can I just ban a player instead? Either way, though.
On border, or why am I saying border? We are not on border yet. We are on Consulate.
It really, honestly feels
it felt like 2 maps. It did.
So does.
Starting out, EG on the attack, Mocket on the defense. I think if EG are going to win this, they're going to have to get off to a hot start because they went down, I believe it was 3-0, then 4-1, then 6-2 final against Cloud9. So they dropped a lot of rounds early. They had to claw back from a hole they did not want to be in. This is kind of, and I guess having that playing experience earlier on today, I mean, Mocket had it yesterday against Cloud9 the same, and they lost the same, but not by such a wide margin. So that's even more terrifying for Evil Geniuses. If they can put their foot on the gas pedal and start driving the pace of this game early, if they can set the tone, I think they can walk away with it. That's another thing, is Valkyrie on the board. She can get 6 picked off, but yesterday we did not see any Valkyrie on Consulate, banned out twice.
Yeah, it's interesting that he would tease like he would play it and then still not take advantage of it, going to a Dock instead. I mean, a Dock is good for, you know, spawn peeking, but what's better to help spawn peeking than additional cameras? In this case, though, it could be possible that they're, you know, they want to make it unclear which bomb site they're going to be playing. Their operators are kind of neutral to that. In this case, EG just bringing that Thermite just in case, along with the glass. But had they known it was Garage, maybe they could have taken advantage of Maverick if that's something that they felt like they could use. In this case, they're definitely not going to do so. We did see that happen a little bit yesterday in the SSG match.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the lack of Maverick, honestly, throughout. And I mean,
this is what everyone was afraid of. We're seeing more Clash.
Yeah, and it's a shield on defense. That's an opinion you can have. I'm not going to state mine publicly, obviously, but I mean, Clash is a very annoying operator, but Maverick is a very utilitarian operator. And when he had the smokes on the TTS, that was a whole other ball game. And very happy they took the smokes away.
They're still expecting the Valkyrie too, which is great. He's going to burn more of BC's time as he thinks he's still going to have to look for cameras.
The new recoil, though, in the 5.5.2 is just marvelous on the recoil update.
They definitely made IQ a much stronger operator in that sense. Obviously, there was some other nerfs like the lack of grenades and the range change.
Yeah.
But it's still a very useful operator, although I definitely feel like we've seen a big drop-off in play.
You see struggling to get the Claymore down at the Yellow Stairs door, but nonetheless, finally able to figure it out. And they're going to be pressing for the Garage Cake. Pretty typical here, bringing the Thermite, so they're 99% not going to go top down like they would with a Havana. Instead, they're going to elect to try and open up the garage wall. And hopefully they've learned from their game against Cloud9, against really how to play. And possibly if they had the time, I mean, they definitely would have watched the Cloud9 Mocket game yesterday because they were going up against Cloud9 earlier today. So they should have done the VOD review necessary for it. Both sides of the garage panels are going to get opened up. Canadian dropping a flank drone on the vending machine. EG in a good position here.
Unfortunately, they didn't bring that Bandit because Mute doesn't usually do a whole lot of work into denying that garage. Usually he's going to be using those Mute jammers elsewhere. In this case, they pretty much gave the garage away for free, although it did take them a minute and a half to open both sides. But yeah, that's going to give an early advantage to EG because they were prepared with that Thermite. However, they're going to have to try and press from here without any early picks. But still, a smoke on the board, as well as that Mute's going to at least be denying a lot of droning and the C4. So they're not in a terrible position on either side. I'd say both of them pretty much set up to try and fight this out, probably ending up being a slugfest in the last 30 seconds.
You got Canadian above ripping up the floor from inside of Piano, and then Mocket playing true to their form. The rush in now from Young is he can try and stick the plant in between Black Car and White Van. It's going pretty successfully so far, and MVK is going to take down Enemy from Yellow Stairs. Revan going to drop Canadian up top, and now Hungry. They're all succeeding to fall. MVK, they're going to trade out Sir Boss. 2 on the round for them. Post-plant situation, 3v3 with a Glaz outside. They're in a wonderful spot. Panic's coming down the yellow stairs, just pressing out, sees the head of NVK for just a moment, peeks back, and Panics will drop him. Claymore outside that Panics has to be worried about. No impact nades to disable that immediately, but he'll run out and grab it anyway. All 3 defenders stacked up against the garage. Gio drops 1, drops 2, and he's going for 3. The run out now from Revan, very ballsy, but Gio, the 3K to round it out, and EG start hot.
Well, having that Glaz there obviously was a big factor in succeeding on that, because they could have gone for retake. They could even stop the plant without that Glaz.
Look at Troy.
Yeah, he's happy about that. He died, but he's like, you know what? Gio, good pickup, doing his thing. He has been very effective on Glaz. Maybe not as much as they would have liked all the time on Oregon, which is a map that's a little trickier with it. But this is definitely one where it worked out very well for them. Gio doing a great job playing it very far back, so they couldn't just get an easy flank. They couldn't just jump over the wall, for example, shoot it behind the car. In this case, they're going to try Garage again, though, this time. Are they going to try and bring something different? Looks like there's the dock. Are they going to 6th pick over to something else that's maybe going to be a little more useful? Because right now they have nothing to deny the Garage being opened. Maybe they just don't care at this point.
I was gonna say, MVK's been flashing a lot of Thatcher throughout this matchup, and that's typically where he's at. Okay, so we have a swap from the dock to the Echo. So we're going back to more of what we saw downstairs on Oregon for Mocket, which is we're just gonna stack plant delay. We're gonna stack it until you guys can't breathe, and we're gonna smother you as soon as you try to come in. Problem is that Young went in for the plant in between Black Car and White Van, shrouded in smoke.
Yeah, well, the upside is that being that they have the Legion this time, if there is no Thatcher, which is the case, they can potentially stack some goo mines around the plant spot and have an idea when the plant's going down, throw a C4, hopefully from an area protected from Glaz. And in that case, they might actually be able to stop the plant. It's not going to do good for a retake with the Glaz still alive, but it does offer the possibility to deny the plant longer, on top of having the Yokai drone to slow down that plant to give them the possibility to get into that position. So I like the setup for it, especially now that there's no Thatcher, but they've got to capitalize on what they can do against that smoke.
Well, looks like Mocket returning to form as well from what we saw yesterday. So instead of placing all 5 defenders downstairs, they're going to go for their 1-4, and they're going to send last time it was Revan on the Legion. This time it's going to be Panics on the Legion. He's out on a solo roam top floor currently with no support, and that's what we saw yesterday.
Like I said, I hope he stacked some by the White Van, though, just to get that extra intel, because you know they're going to be bringing those smokes again. They've definitely been playing that Glaz pretty consistently, regardless of bomb site on Oregon. Probably going to do the same thing on Consulate. So there's a case where you just need to do what you can to get the intel on him without it overexposing yourself, and do what you can to counter it. They still have the smoke of the Yokai, though, to be able to do some work with that. Maybe, I guess, no C4s on the board, though, to be able to throw on him, but nonetheless, do what they can. I imagine he's going to go to open that other panel, though, as soon as he feels like he has the opportunity. He's just being extra careful in case they try and peek him.
Sir Boss was playing the mute last round. He swaps over to the Maestro now, which he's had a lot of success on, to be fair. The Evil Eye's going to be able to see through that smoke. That was protecting Young, at least from visibility. Panic's looking through some kill holes. Triggering a Legion mine is NVK as he rushes through all the way to the top of Yellow Stairs. Another one coming in. Poor timing for Panics, but he's able to survive. NVK taking the engagement 1v1, and Panics is going to drop back even further. The impact nade coming out above Yellow Stairs. Panics continues to fall back, makes a rotate for himself into Connector, but a wonderful shot through the wall by NVK is going to drop Panics, and there go those Legion mines you wanted for the intel downstairs.
Let's hope he threw him during setup, but either way, a good pick by NVK, just good timing on his part, catching them off guard, and that's why it's so risky to roam his Legion, because now he didn't really have a lot of impact on the round, not doing a ton of work, and they're going to be set up for this garage take, because they're not doing anything to contest it. They needed whatever gadget utility they could to contest this, because they're not going to win in a gunpowder with that Glaz still alive doing his thing, and he's even making sure that that White Van side is not going to be protected. This is going to make it much harder for someone like Smoke to do anything outside of throwing over top of the van.
Smart job from MVK there to burn the ADS. Also flash the Maestro of Sir Boss playing inside of pipes and disable, actually remove that Evil Eye from play. So there's one remaining. Another ADS gets placed and he's going to take down his Ash Charge, and Gio suffocating in the smoke, but he's going to walk pipes and drop Boss. MVK has been down in the, BC's been down in the process. Gio's going to fall to Hungry. BC can be revived. They still have plenty of time to pick this back up in a 4v3. BC going to get revived. Young as well down just by White Van. He's going to get finished off by Hungry. This diffuser lost inside of Garage. A precarious position here for Evil Geniuses. They still have the Yokai drones to deal with. Thankfully, BC on the IQ is in a good position, has the electronic detector. ADS is eating up all those concussion mines. Only one going to detonate. Canadian picks up the diffuser. He's going to try and stick behind White. NVK drops Revan, he tries to flank down. It's up to Enemy and Hungry. They press in, the flank is completed, and NVK bails immediately out. They all back out as they try to cover from outside once again. Hungry just gonna go for an aggressive run, shut down immediately. BC and NVK in tandem. Mocket dropped the first 2 rounds, trying to defend downstairs. And like I said, EG starting hot.
Definitely a better way to control the glass that time. They were a little more successful on it, but ultimately they weren't able to stop that Zofia push, which absolutely worked. It was a good attempt, and it was just seemed to be a little bit of a bad read in terms of which side of the white van to be peeking, because he was watching the other side expecting push there, and it was really more on the other side by the black car. In this case, though, they're going to finally peel off of Garage. Not working out so well for them. They're not really doing a good job tonight. Funny enough that this is now when they're going to bring that Bandit. But probably a similar lineup going to come again from EG. They don't seem to need to change it up too much. Interesting that NVK is actually sticking with Ash, something that he didn't actually play too much on Oregon. Surprisingly, I think he's a very effective one, but he's also been playing a pretty good Thatcher. We saw him especially that first round. In this case, I think they kind of read into the fact that they're probably not going to play Garage again, though.
Yeah, and even last time around, MVK playing the Ash, no problems getting the garage wall open. Like you said, nothing to stop it. And actually, MVK is going to swap over to the Thatcher.
Oh, there
now.
we go. Well, I guess he's just being extra cautious here, making sure they can clear out as much utility as possible. Probably a good call. I mean, that's really going to help people like Glaz able to do their work, and then give you know, Canadian on the Zofia a little bit more they could do without having to spend all his you know, grenades clearing ADSs, things like that, because you can Thatcher those instead. That'll make easier smoke play. Young still bringing that thermite, though, just in case. We could see some play from it, perhaps on the Yellow Stairs wall. It's a rare treat these days. But we could also even see it potentially on the wall from Long Desk. If they're able to get a lot of control of that site, they could smoke it, play the glass along the long angle, and open up that wall to give him additional angles to play from, even from the copy room, potentially, just to clear that out. A lot of ways to play this, though, and they seem to have the flexibility with that attacker lineup. It's up to Mocket to do something against it, but at least they have a smoke and an echo to do as much denial as possible if they have to play outside that room.
So, gas station spawn. Looks like Mocket, we're trying to prep and see if anyone from EG were going to be going for an admin take, but instead they elect to go for the windows. Good night, Geo, as the Glaz off the board quite early on a spawn peek.
That's got to feel good after how much of a pain Glaz has been.
Enemy sticking around on that spawn peek copy window for an exceedingly long time. Usually you won't stick around past like 10, 15 seconds. He's there 20 seconds in, and it certainly paid off. That's your only smoke grenades on the board as well for confusion. It's going to be up to Canadian really to kind of disorient any of the anchors. Once again, we have this Yellow Stairs hold, not really surprising. MVK, what? Okay.
I think it got caught by the AES.
It did get caught by the AES.
Well, this is definitely going much, much better this time for Mocket.
Device is going down.
Unfortunate, but EMP on the roof will still do the same job. The only way it won't be able to get the ADS is if it's on the floor of the stairs, as the consulate roof is a little tricky. It doesn't go, if you launch an EMP on the roof, it doesn't go all the way down to get gadgets on the floor, but anything above floor height will be caught by an EMP. But that's 2 EMPs down, and only, I think, an ADS and a default camera taken care of for it.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's what they needed to be able to at least clear and control those stairs as much as possible. But the fact that they haven't got any picks off it and they lost someone early on is giving the time advantage here to Mocket, because they're still stuck outside for the most part. Yeah, they've cleared some utility, they put some pressure on, but they haven't turned in anything yet. Though Canadian with that sneaky drone might pay off here later in the round. And Revan actually playing an interesting angle through a punch hole that's not going to be spotted by Canadian's drone.
I'm shocked that Canadian's been allowed to sit on connector window for so long. There's so many peaks that can be taken towards them and across just now spraying through the soft wall towards Sir Boss, playing just in the entryway of Yellow Stairs by Small Desk. Unable to find the shots, but causing enough havoc. EG running out of time, though, as Canadian's going to head back up to the roof. Young's going to get off his rappel as well. Disoriented by the Echo drone is NVK, and a little disjointed here from EG. They still have a little bit of time. Stun cannons being launched in, but the Echo drone disorienting the multiple attackers repelled on the B windows, as enemy will trade out his Echo drones, and now Canadian going to be opting for a bathroom repel, as that's where enemy is stationed currently, as that Echo, and he's going to walk right into the pre-fire. Canadian drops him, and now the stack for the B window repel. They're going to drop right into console. Revan is going to take down MVK. The plant going to be initiated here by BC. Young on the cover on the window, no breach necessary in the top floor. An aggressive peek out, shut down. Canadian grabs another one as Sir Boss and Panics fall. Trying to bail out of the window now is BC. He'll hop straight off. And Canadian on the roof is going to have to get in a position where he can hold out as well. Establish a crossfire. Hungry, launching Talk to Babes at the window. Try and distract and disorient anyone, and it's going to be Young trying to stick the plant through the smoke, and he's going to get ripped up by Revan, but BC and Young are going to close it out. Trying to stick the plant in, or stick the defuse in the smoke was Hungry. He gets shut down violently on the rappel, and that's going to be it. EG 3-0 lead. Stark contrast to what we heard from the BYOC game.
I think they heard you and were inspired by your words of start strong, EG.
Start strong. Keep that momentum. Set that pace.
Absolutely. Well, they're definitely doing a good job of that. That was a round that should have gone much more excited, but some great fires from Canadian. Even the one on the Bandit that didn't get the kill, but it still put some hurt on him. And then that one through the bathroom wall. Fantastic play against enemy. Overall, just some good plays by him, especially on those rappels, I think made a big difference. But Young playing that Thermite, of all things, what would normally be a Blackbeard job that I'm sure he's well-versed in. Instead, he's playing it without a face shield. You saw the way he was swinging back and forth, just trying to take advantage of, instead of having a face shield, moving around as much as possible. Well played on his part, and I think that was a key part of it as well. And making sure they could not stop that plant really forced them into a tough spot, despite the attempts from the smoke.
Problem with that hold there for Mock is just there's not enough information. You're forcing a defender to peek into console office to get any info on what's happening.
Well, that should have been Echo's job, right?
It should have been. Enemy was placing his Echo drones on the ground outside of the bathroom corridor here and just sending them in and disorienting people on windows, but you've got to then give that information and have the Echo drones in a position where they can at least stall out.
Especially if he dies, right? You want one there so that at least the people left alive, or even yourself as a dead player, can watch that.
Well, I mean, what's Hungry going to do, right? He needs a call to send the smokes out. He's not psychic. He can't tell when the plant's going down.
On the upside, at least the glass was dead, so he could see through this, or I mean, not see through the smokes.
True. Yeah, Geo falling early, but EG find a way to battle back. That's another good point. A 3-0 lead here for EG as they are rolling. Another attempt top floor here from Mocket as they try to just grasp some semblance of cohesion here and coordination. Be successful at least once on the defense. Consulate, not really a map that's going to play well if you start on the early deficit, though.
Yeah.
Especially heading to the attacks where, I mean, EG were pretty decent on the defenses on Oregon. Not that the maps play similar in any way, just indicative of what we could see from each team on either side. Looks like EG might have this one in the bag. It's still very early on. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but they are looking very strong right now.
And they have a pretty good defense, too. So once they get on that side, that definitely could work in their favor, especially if they only have to defend one round. But Geo lives a little bit longer this round, and that's going to bode well for them. Again, bringing the same operator lineups pretty much, although this time NVK did the 6-pick the other direction around, just trying to keep them on their toes, not knowing what they'll have to deal with. Thatcher wasn't super effective last time, so maybe they decided that wasn't an important part of this attack. Yeah, got a little bit more control of Yellow Stairs, but that's not ultimately what got them the round anyways. In this case, though, they are pressuring those windows early again, this time opening up holes from below. Maybe they'll go into a piano and try and capitalize on those, actually, and play those from below. In this case, though, NVK seems a little unsure on how he wants to play the angles on this window. Flashbang's going to come out, and you see the switch up there, some pressure coming out on the windows this time from BC.
Coming up with the diffuser is BC, like you said, and Panic's still playing on Yellow Stairs, even though his ADS has been burned. He may have placed on a second one. We'll get to see that, but BC looking for the Echo drones. That's the big thing. He's spotting out the Legion mines from Revan. He's just going to swing in right away. Very aggressive, and he's going to try and go for the plant once again, but now they have Geo to see through the smoke. The Echo drone's trying to get in position. It will stop him once, and Sir Boss is going to drop BC as the attempted plant failed, but an Echo drone spotted out by Geo in reciprocation. Canadian going to trade out Revan, so that's the Legion impacts, but still got the mines out in time. VK is rotated up spiral stairs. He's going to be holding the cross to make sure no one can peek into B from the main hallway. He's worried about anyone inside of meeting room. And then an aggressive peek here from Sir Boss on the Maestro LMG. And NVK is going to bail out. He's done his job. He's been a distraction. And EG needs to get going for that plant again.
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, working out pretty well, but yeah, they're starting to stall out a little bit. It was unfortunate they lost that fight on that push for the plant, but Geo picking one off here, and the fight on the Yellow Stairs still working out okay for Canadian. Looking like this could work, but Sir Boss gets a second onto NVK.
Now repelling into the bathroom window is Young. He's going to establish some control, make sure no one can come into connector and battle it out as they aggressively try to go for this plant again. As I say that, Hungry and Sir Boss are both going to find frags on the Canadian and Geo. It's all Young being constantly spotted out. Laying down at long desk is Sir Boss on the Maestro. Pre-fire's coming out, and it's Sir Boss going to end it. Mock it. Stop the bleeding, if only for a moment.
Well, definitely some good plays, especially by Sir Boss, who playing that long angle, you saw him do a good job of stopping the planter first, getting another kill after that, and then finally finishing things up at the end. I definitely say that Maestro worked out pretty well for them, despite all that pressure that Gio was bringing from the window. Some good picks, though, from EG. It's just they could not close the round out, and just not winning enough fights towards the end. I think that stall out towards the end is really what cost them, because it gave the opportunity for Maka to get a better idea on the positioning, get better position to counter it as well. It was unfortunate that there was the fight lost in the connector across to the bathroom, but either way, they came out ahead thanks to having the superior manpower at the end. Let's see how they fare on lobby, because Garage was no good for them.
Maka on their last attempt on the defense, at least in regulation for Consulate, will be attempting to go lobby to try and rally back here. If they can get it back, they're only at a 1-round deficit, and I mean, that's not insurmountable on Consulate. It's a pretty even map on both sides, and VK going to be 6-picking to the Ash from the Thatcher. Pretty typical, we've seen that multiple times thus far. I'm surprised that Panics didn't swap to the Echo, or someone didn't swap to an Echo, because the Echo drone was really what saved you that round.
Yeah.
BC could have just got up and walked away from the smoke canister if it wasn't for Sir Boss peeking, but the Echo drone is what pulled him off the plant and made him panic. And that's what saved the round really for them, and that's what was the detriment to the round last time, is not having the Echo drone in place. It seems like it's the linchpin in the plan here for Maka, is to have the advanced intel in there and the ability to delay the plan.
Honestly, plant denial seems to be a big factor as well, because EG been very effective at getting towards plants, whether they get it down or not. They're actually getting to the setup for a plant very early in rounds a lot of times, or at least getting close to it. You know, that was a factor on Oregon as well, but especially on this map. And I think the more they can deny plants, the better off Maka seem to be most of the time.
Well, EG spawning out to look for an admin push, it seems. Try and go east to west and clear across. Get control of that top floor. Panic's going for a very late spawn peak, but nobody's spawning gas station to afford him any luck.
Well, maybe next time. A pick on Gio definitely helped that one round, but it actually didn't win them the round.
No, they had Gio alive in full force last round, and they actually lost it. So maybe similar to Secret, they need that sacrifice to rally back.
Right, he's
get
the
that
Leon
momentum.
Kids there.
Yeah.
Well, either way, though, they at least have the door open, and this is where Gio is again going to be useful. I think they're finding just places to use glass pretty much on every map. It seems like Gio getting to pretty much play it constantly. I think it's been mostly effective. It's just, you know, some rounds it works, some rounds it doesn't. But it's never a case where it's like Gio needs to stop playing glass.
Oh, God, no. You saw the shots he hit on the first round when everyone started rushing out of garage at him.
Yeah.
3 picks in 4 seconds and maybe 5 shots.
Yeah, he hits those shots. We'll see how they can do in terms of taking top floor control, though. Not a lot to really slow them down. Other than, you know, just trying to frag out upstairs. But they might have to start dropping back if the pressure gets too hot upstairs, which is going to force into a bit of a top-down fight for EG, which they're more than willing to do. They already have control of the admin side. They can start pushing across here, taking that long desk. They're droning at the moment just to get an idea how to take the rest of that top floor, because if they can, this is where this bomb site becomes very, very difficult. But you never know, Maka maybe could pull off a little bit. But the thing is with Gio, the way he's able to control that main squad. Oh, speaking of which, just tap, tap, you're done.
A shot by Gio to drop Sir Boss. And I'm really surprised by the Maka setup here. They're looking like they want to play for a retake of meeting top floor, and they're just not having the top control necessary to stop this plan. Gio with another one on a Hungry, going off on the glass once again. Sees another one in Piano. Gio continuing the run, and he's not going to stop anytime soon. Plant completed by EG, and they all bail out for the post plant while Revan is feet away from the attempted defuse. Lights up the backside, and Panic's going to complete it onto NVK. Young taking a little bit of damage. Panic's with another one, so it's down to only a 1-man deficit. Gio missing the shots for the first time, but he's got the angle on the diffuser. And there's Canadian coming up spiral to end Revan's run. It's all up to Panics, who's over-healing. They're just healing back up to 100. His only real option here is to drop as Canadian has spiral covered, and it's just going to be one peek in from Gio as he tries to rush the front door. Gio going for 4K, and he's going to nail it. Geometrics, Evil Geniuses, 4-1 on Consulate.
Note to mock it. Ban glass in the future against EG? I mean, it's like I said, it's not always impactful, but in rounds like that, that's where you go, why didn't we ban glass? Maybe Lion would have been better to deal with at this point. And it does surprise me, this whole tournament, the lack of glass bans, it's baffling. I mean, not everyone's exploiting it, but it's just, he's very strong. Now, you saw how low recoil there is at the moment. It's pretty much, as some people say, pretty much none. And to Gio, kind of proving that, just barely missing any shots at all. They're going to try console on their first attempt here. from EG. We'll see how that goes. They're not going to start on Garage the way Maka did, because that certainly didn't work out for them. But Thermite going to come out just in case anyways. And that is a good time to exploit playing console when they, they're probably going to bring a Thermite because they feel like they have to. That might potentially, mess them up a little bit. Let's see though, can Panics replicate Geo's success?
Canadian swapping off the Pulse. That's a weird one defending top floor.
He plays a pretty good vigil on this map.
Yeah, he plays a mean vigil.
Like, he'll play similar to Jarvis, where he'll play those spiral stairs, for example. We've seen him do a really good attempt at some retakes late rounds, some flanks. I don't think it's the worst choice, but we know how good he is on Pulse as well.
Vertical is another one that comes to mind on Vigil, either on Consulate or possibly Coastline. Vert is an amazing Vigil, so Canadians definitely up there in the top tier of Vigil players out there.
We've seen him actually target banned against him as well.
Yes.
Well, Geo this time gonna be on the Maestro. Something he's very effective on, and BC going to be continuing to be on that smoke. Let's see if that's a factor here. It's interesting to see the way that NVK has had to switch up roles so often. He's going to actually be on the castle, so Young can take the Jaeger this time.
Geo kind of rethinking where he wants to put this last evil eye. He wants it in an admin, or at least looking into admin. I think the safer place would be further. No, he's just going to reinforce the break room wall and slap it directly on there.
At least he's not taking too long to set this up that he's going to die doing it, right? That's the important thing. But he did open up the top of that, and that's going to work to his advantage. It does look like that was what he intended in terms of reinforcing it after opening the top of it. I love those spots where you can take advantage of the top of the wall. Geo definitely knowing those well. That's why he's well known as a smart player.
Saw MVK up there on top of that fridge earlier on, just avoiding any nitros from below. Panic spotting out the castle barricade, and can't take it down anymore.
Yeah, that's an important note. Is that, for people who are not familiar with the Grim Sky patch, there was a bug stopping Castle from being able to open, Glass from being able to open Castle barricades with his shots. Ubisoft decided that was actually a nice balance feature, deciding to keep it. So that means that Castle barricade will have to fall down to probably a Zofia to take that out.
NVK was playing in the top floor bathroom, almost spotted out by Sir Boss. Most assuredly going to be spotted out with the drone, but he's got a friend with him. Just getting away into the bathroom through that rotation. Revan missing the shots with the para. Spraying in down towards the top of Yellow Stairs. I believe it's Young on the Jaeger in tandem with them. Interesting rotation is you don't usually see bathroom wall unreinforced, although it does make for good utilization. If you can get to the bathroom, you can take down anyone trying to go for that Yellow Stairs take. We haven't seen a Yellow Stairs take in a very long time. Getting Bolt launch from the top as well. Push Young a little further down the stairs, but he's fine, and he's going to win out the engagement against Panics as well. That's the Glaz. Not going to have as much effect as Geo was earlier.
Usually you need a shotgun to be able to hold this effectively, but it doesn't seem to phase Young at all. He doesn't have any pocket ADSs left. He does have one still standing, and the fire, unfortunately, just barely missing him. Maybe they need Meepy to play on that Capitao if he could join Maka temporarily, because you've seen how effective he can be at burning those out. So the fact that Young's able to stick that with an ADS still intact means this attack is gonna stall out quite a bit. You see them all holding angles at this point. That's not the right thing to be doing. You need to be collecting intel and getting your push ready.
Biggest problem for Maka right now is Revan will take down Canadian, and I say that the biggest problem for Maka is they don't really have a semblance of a push. Finally able to clear out Young on the Yellow Stairs, but MVK gonna trade it back under Revan. Coming up the Yellow Stairs, MVK gonna find another one. Sir Boss will fall. It's up to Enemy and Hungry. Impact Nate gonna clear the Claymore outside of Yellow. Hungry's been on that rappel for more than a minute now. He's gonna get off and inspect the damage that the impact grenade did. He's so indecisive, he can't figure out where he wants to go.
Yeah, and this is why you don't see a lot of Yellow Stairs pushes anymore. It's just too hectic, too hard to fight, too many flanks, too many vertical floors to cover. Hungry, though, gonna try his best to reclaim it, and that is gonna stun NVK, but they worked so much just to clear out Young from the exact same spot. Can they do it a second time? That barbed wire's still intact, and that really cost him his life.
Pelling into the console office, suffocating on the smoke. About 30 HP, gonna have to rush through. NVK lighting him up through the wall. Evil geniuses, match point, series point, a chokehold on Consulate.
This is not going how we expected, to say the least.
No.
I imagine not going how Mock had expected as well. This is definitely going to make other people rethink, should we take EG to Consulate? It was seeming like a yes before, maybe seeming like a no now, unless you ban Glaz on Geo and do what you can to slow down some of this pressure. But that was only one defensive round. Maybe this will be a case where Mock can take it a little bit differently. As you mentioned, that Yellow Stairs push a little bit unusual, and that might have cost them one of the rounds. They also had the Thermite that they might not have needed as well for that push, so that might have been a factor. They're going to bring him again, of course, thinking, well, they can't be console again, so they're either going to be lobby or garage, because they're probably not going to play the new bomb site. In this case, they are right on the garage guest, so that Thermite should be a little more effective. And they are going to bring a mute, probably not going to be used too much to deny it again, so Thermite shouldn't have too hard of a job getting those doors open. Ooh, Maverick coming up. There we go. That should make it even easier.
Revan swapping to the Maverick instead of the Capitao.
Let's see him lock that in.
Panic's trying to go for the Glass again, and he did just not do well last round on the Glass, coming up yellow stairs, fell to Young. Like I said, not as much effect as Geo was having with it. One more round for EG. Maka with their backs right up against the wall. This is the elimination point for them.
This is, this is a much better bomb site for Glaz. This is a much better bomb site for Mocket's lineup in general. If they're going to take a round back, this is probably the one for them to pull it off. This is obviously the secondary bomb site for EG. They have a good lineup for this attack. A lot of EG's defense is set up for a little bit of denial, but also a lot of roam as well, and it's going to come down to map control and things like that. But at the same time, with a garage door, you don't need as much map control, right? You just need to get in there, and you just need to make sure to control yellow stairs, control anyone coming from cafeteria, and you can get that plant down. Once you get the plant down, Glaz can do his thing.
Geo and NVK topping the board at 9 frags apiece on Evil Geniuses. You got a 2-man spawn at gas station. Looks like Mock are a little spread out, at least for spawns. Here they have an alter itinerary here for taking down Garage.
Well, they are definitely going to at least approach it and see what they might burn a hole in. Just burning a hole in it at all is pretty much a threat that's usually going to make most people back off. So he's going to do exactly that. Hopefully he has a good idea how he wants to play that hole, so he's not just doing it at random. There we go. Finally sticks it in. Wow. Random it is not. Geo just going right on down. That's a C4 off the board. I imagine his mute jammer's already placed, but now they might be denied. If there was any on the wall itself, they will no longer be a problem.
Enemy using that hole. Trying to look in as it looks like it's BC. Yeah, BC behind white, trying to peek out. And I don't recommend doing that. Again, the Maestro of Young trying to light up the wall as well with the LMG playing just on the bottom of the yellow stairs, landing over by pipes. Tough to deal with, and that hole being opened up, being completely silent is definitely an issue. They're trying to get the mute jammers off the wall, but it's Young that's gonna nail the shot. That's the Thermite down. A beautiful position for Evil Geniuses now.
They knew he was there too. They saw the shots earlier with the tracers. That was definitely a big mistake and very well played by EG, and that's going to cost them a lot. Now they suddenly can't open that garage without having to use a lot of blowtorch power. And in this case, it looks like he's actually going to push yellow stairs. That is a huge mistake for the last attempt at being a hard breacher. I mean, you don't necessarily have to come in through garage, you just want to put pressure, but Canadian going to finish off the Glass as well. They are losing all of their tools here.
Going for a Visa run out and going to evacuate down to Archives using an impact nade to back off. Sir Boss and Hungry both trying to collapse, but just moments late. Revan, though, going to take down NVK as he pushes up yellow stairs towards vending machine. So even man count, but they're going to have to go for the back push as Mocket all assembled themselves over by Visa. You still have Revan holding in the bathroom hallway on main floor, waiting for any rotations. None such from Evil Geniuses. They are content to play downstairs, and it's going to be Canadian on the flank from behind. That's going to be demonstrous to Mocket trying to press in.
Well, they definitely have at least some positioning going here, but lack of time and that flank that you mentioned is going to be what cost them. Young is still alive as well, full health. No one really able to contest him. The even man count, I don't think is really all that even, given the utility going across both sides. At least they have some way to play this, but also the Maverick player, Revit, is on low health. The smokes are coming out, and there's a nice flank by Canadian. Does manage to land it, almost gets a 2K.
Oh, but he gets finished off by Hungry. He's on 1 HP. Canadian falls, but the smoke canister from BC, one whiff of that will end Hungry as he'll go down and most likely be finished off. Another one detonates on the kitchen door, and they're gonna have to push the office hallway. Sir Boss wins it out. It's all up to BC playing from behind White Van. He's got a flank coming down, yellow pressing by Black Car. Immediately on him on White Van, he kills Revan. Plant being stuck inside of kitchen, holding with the RG-15, downs Hungry. He's got to rush in, the plant gets completed, and the IQ of Sir Boss circling around to the rotate. Sir Boss gonna win it out. EG were in a beautiful position to close it out. Canadian unable to land the successful shots to continue his flank from behind. Mocket stave off elimination for at least another round.
Canadian absolutely could have been the game changer there, and him missing his shots really cost them everything. BC did a fantastic job trying to play what he could with it, but in such a desperate situation like that, no gas canisters left. He's trying to fight it the best he can with a very difficult to control at the moment SMG-11, and unfortunately just could not win all the fights. However, that was still possibly the last round before this final here for Mocket. They're still going to have to call out back, but that is only one round after the side switch won by EG, so this is definitely something that Mocket can take to the bank. We have a technical pause here, so it's going to take a little bit of a time before we get to finish it. Or tactical pause, sorry. We'll see. I think it was EG?
It was EG.
That's right. Okay, cool.
So EG trying to sort some things out before trying to close this thing off once and for all. Plenty of chances left to do it. They can go back downstairs to the garage should they so choose to. Why do I keep screwing that saying up? Should they so choose to?
Something to practice tonight.
Yeah, just be sitting in the mirror in the bathroom in the hotel working on that nonstop.
It's a creepy image.
Okay, don't be mean.
Well, let's see if this tactical break works for EG. It would be interesting if this tactical break actually works out in favor of Mocket. If they're able to go, like, okay, we see what we're doing wrong. We barely won that round, but we can come back here. And then all of a sudden they make a comeback sweep. And then this tactical pause actually works against EG.
Yeah, that's the thing. You always got to be careful because you're giving time to the other team. And I mean, in a stranglehold position like this, it's one round away and you're done.
Yeah.
In a position like that, like I wouldn't personally want to give the enemy team time to regroup. I mean, they just barely came away from that. Why was enemy peeking through that Maverick hole as the sole hard breacher? I mean, you have Maverick, but he's not going to make a big enough hole in the garage for you to walk through safely. It's going to be like a crouch through hole at best.
Well, it was a good way to contest it. I like that they tried to contest it kind of from two angles. You had BC peeking, you had Young peeking as well, and the fact that they were able to kind of a little crossfire kept them on their toes. But yeah, again, that was a bit of a mistake. As they saw those shots earlier, they probably should have known, and maybe they were just hoping he was off that position at that point. The patience of defenders can be endless sometimes.
So EG using the attack pause, most likely to talk about their defensive hold as they head to lobby instead of heading back downstairs. They don't want to risk heading back downstairs consecutively and having it falter on them twice, so they elect for lobby. And I mean, you said it was probably not going to happen. I agree with you. Teller's Archives, maybe as a throw-off. Because Mocket on that round, they stalled out pretty late. I mean, Plant was going down into the overtime of the round.
Well, it's nice to have the option. It's good to just keep them guessing a little bit. Mocket is going to bring that Maverick again just in case it's going to be Garage along with the Thermite. Hopefully they can do a good job even if they don't necessarily have to use it as much. Could be useful though. Let's say he's able to get around, for example, behind bathroom. Could be used to open up some angles into the bathroom. Be able to, kind of peek your way in there without being as obvious about it. I mean, obviously a Thermite Harbana, very loud and clear that you're opening that, whereas that angle could really work in your favor if you're able to hold control just behind that from the yellow stairs. So definitely some ways to use him. Not to mention he was doing a decent job fragging. So do have some faith in Revan to make this work, but looks like we have a Twitch as well, something they hadn't been playing before. So we'll see if that pays off for them. Good drone work coming out here though from Maka just to make sure if those yellow stairs are going to be a problem or not for this approach. And there's their boss who thought he had control, quickly denied by NBK.
Hungary's going to come in for the refrag, but that's diffuser lost at vending machine as well. It looks like Maka are going for one of these all or nothing plant strats that we saw on Oregon against Cloud9 most notably.
Looking like nothing so far.
And VK coming down the yellow stairs, could be caught off guard, and he will. Hungary will trade it out eventually. He's very wary of a repeat here, and it's the Jaeger of Geo now coming down the Visa hallway. He's got a castle barricade in his way, so he's going to go for a long rotate here instead of immediately re-engaging with Hungary. Drones heading downstairs to establish what it might be below them, but the biggest concern for Mock is they all stack up on that yellow stairs door to piano, should be what's above them.
Yeah, well, this castle barricade is at least doing a good job slowing both attacker and defender down in terms of their ability to move around, but there's Canadian on a nice kill, and that's going to make things really hard for Mock here.
Revan taking a lot of damage from the smoke canister. He has to back out. Canadians dropped into circle desk. Looks like this round is going to ramp up a lot quicker than expected. The stun grenades into bathroom. But here comes Canadian on a flank, looking into bench. He's able to drop Hungary, turns the corner, goes for two! Evil geniuses are sending themselves to playoffs.
Coming up from the losers bracket, though, it's not the position they wanted to be in or expected to be in, but it's still a lot better than Mocket are in now, as Mocket have to go home as they traveled maybe a little bit farther than Troy did.
True, just right down the road, but EG, the determination, the willpower to stick with it on Oregon, and then just a monstrous game on Consulate. It did not look out of hand at any point for EG on that map.
No, well played by them on a map that we were a little suspicious of.
Well, I mean, they dropped Consulate 6-2 to Cloud9 earlier on in the day, so whatever they did pre-game to prep for this...
Maybe just Cloud9 are that good.
Maybe.
You never know.
unfortunate to you, Flynn, because we're not going to have an interview with any other players of EG because they're actually going to stay on stage. We're going to actually be casting them against Rogue, and that's coming up in the quarterfinals. So congratulations to EG moving on to the quarterfinals after winning this matchup. But that means that it gives us a little bit more time, at least, to break down this whole series. So first off, I wanted to ask you guys this question when we're going back towards the operator bans, right?
Yeah.
When you guys mentioned towards that first map, they banned Ying directly to basically nullify